2.
Good evening. I'm Nicholas Goebel, and you're watching Channel 5 News, your top resource for all news international relations. We analyze and we report. We tell you what's going on in current events, and we analyze the events so you understand why they are happening. Our top story today comes from Skimm newspaper. They have been reporting for several days about Trump administration going down to the southern White House and having a meeting with the president of China. This will be the toughest meeting that the Trump administration has had yet. This is because mainly of the campaign promises Trump ran on. Constantly throughout his campaign, the Trump administration announced and claimed that we were on the losing side of trade deals going on with China. This caused tension, and you can bet there will be tension in the meetings. Most people believe that this is the only case that they're going to talk about, but on the harder side, they're going to be discussing North Korea and their proliferation of nuclear weapons. Proliferation of nuclear weapons is scary for Americans. It is the continual process and growth of nuclear weapons. It is scary for Americans with nations such as North Korea and Iran and other unstable nations getting them. When unstable nations have them, it can lead to disaster. North Korea has recently been firing and practicing their weapons and trying to see if they can aim and hit the United States. Their technology is growing, and it is a worry for the United States. China is seen as the big brother of North Korea, and it is their number one supporter. So Trump will talk with them and will most likely ask them to rein in the leash that they have on North Korea and stop giving them so much freedom to fire their weapons. Otherwise, the meeting could go south. The reason that this is such a worry is because of the continual testing of these weapons. Many Americans fear that if they do achieve their capabilities and fire upon us, then they will, and it will no longer be a test but a declaration of war. Most of the time, when nations receive nuclear weapons, they don't fire them because of the mutually assured destruction theory, or MAD theory. This is the theory that when a nation gains nuclear weapons, they won't fire them because a nation that they will fire upon will also have the nuclear weapons, firing back, which will lead to a nuclear apocalypse and set the world into an Armageddon. This is a big fear, and what held the Cold War at bay for years and generations. Most in the Theories of Nuclear Proliferation article, hard realists believe that it is obviously beneficial to have these nuclear weapons. It is obviously beneficial to them because once they achieve this nuclear weapons, they are safe, and other nations who don't have them will not fire upon them. Soft realism shows that there are both benefits and down points to having nuclear weapons. Because they have the weapons, they are protected, but it also makes them more of a powerhouse and will lead to them having more troubles because of these nuclear weapons. Critiques of the realism show that it is not a straight line, that just because they have them doesn't mean they won't use them. As stated, hard realism believes that it is obviously beneficial, so if a nation can, then they will produce these weapons. The critiques of this, as the idealists like to say, is it is not a general trend. Just because a nation is able to do this does not mean that they will. And a chart showing that they have had the technology and have the resources, but have not fired upon and have not built these nuclear weapons, is why most of the realisms have soon been slipping away, and more people are starting to go along with the idealist perspective. As stated, this is our top trend right now and our top story. Thank you for listening. I'm Nick Goebel. Have a great night.